Hey everyone, and welcome to r/IDontWorkHereLady, the place where people get mistaken for employees. And clearly, it evolves into something much, much worse than a, sorry, I made a mistake, let's move on with our lives. This is a place where these encounters get absolutely crazy. Now, as I said, these stories are good, so let's not waste another second and get straight into this first one by /my yucca is dead. A bit of background, my house used to be the village post office. And when I say used to be, I mean over 20 years ago. We bought the property 10 years ago, by which time it had been totally converted and no longer resembles a post office in any shape or form. The post office is now slightly further down the street in a building that has a huge post office sign on the front and looks nothing like my house. Different size, colour and everything. My front door opens straight into the kitchen and is rarely locked. It's a small village, and I seem to run some sort of drop-in centre for my kids' friends. I was sitting eating dinner this evening with my kids when the front door opened, and in walked a lady. "Hey, can I help you with something?" as I walked towards her, forcing her backwards through the open door. "Yes, I have a parcel here to send," as she tries to duck around the side of me to get in. "Pardon? You've got a parcel?" "Yes, it's to be delivered tomorrow." "Well, you'd best be taking it to the post office then, as I'm almost physically trying to push her out the door and onto the street." "Well, obviously, that's why I'm here." At which point, the light bulb in my head switches on. "I'm sorry, this isn't the post office anymore. Hasn't been for a long time. The post office is a few doors down that way." Yes, very funny. Now, could you actually do what you're being paid for and allow me to send my parcel?" "Yes, if you go to the post office, which is just down there. I'm sure they'll send your parcel for you. Now, I'm going to return to my children to finish eating my dinner." And I walked inside and closed and locked the door while listening to her having a strop outside. By all accounts, she found the post office, sent her parcel, and lodged a formal complaint against me, which gave the post office staff some entertainment for the afternoon. I'm really unsure as to what she was thinking. She's not from the village. As I say, it's a small village. And she walked into what is obviously a house with a family sitting at the table eating when she walked in. Did she think I'd hidden the post office counter behind the fridge or something? My husband keeps wandering into the kitchen asking me for stamps or envelopes or various other post office type things. Wow, that's a funny one. You know what I suspect it was? I reckon this lady used to live in the village 20 years ago or something, and now when she comes back, she just assumes nothing has changed. I mean, often enough, it's a pretty fair assumption with small villages. But I guess there was some change in this one. I mean, I don't get it. How can you walk in on a family having dinner and assume it's a post office? Doesn't make any sense to me. And here's the next one, much more of a classic for the sub. This one by user/DependentList3175. A bit of context, this was back in January of this year. I had just turned 14. The funny thing is, my birthday's on January 1st. The amount of people with my birthday, you could probably count them on your hands. I think at this point, I was 5'11" with a visible beard. I had people mistake me most of the time for a 16 or 17-year-old. Now, my birthday had just passed, and my parents are not the best with presents, so they just give me money. So I went on the weekend to chill with my friend. It was like 12 PM, we went out to eat, and my friend started talking about he'd wished he could get a PC. Now, me and him are close. I go to his house most days of the week, 3 or 4 times. Sometimes I stay over. We're basically brothers. I call his parents auntie and uncle, and same with him. He comes to my house and stays. We even have rooms in each other's houses. Now, he was born 4 days after me. I really wanted to get him something nice. So he said, let's go chill at my house. So I call an Uber. Not to his house though. It was to PC World. We get halfway there and he clocks what's happening. He says this isn't the way to my house. I assure him that we're going to do something very fun. When he sees PC World and asks why we're here, I tell him it's an early birthday present. I had to give it to him early as I couldn't go on a school day. So I tell him, get anything you want. He goes mad and tries to reject, but we all know how that turns out. We're both in the shop and I recommend him something and tell him where it is. He goes to get it. Then I hear a lady clearing her throat. I turn around and she asks me where something is. I say, I don't know. I then turn around, assuming that was the end of that. She then starts ranting about how I need to follow company policy and not pull out my phone when I'm talking to customers. The next thing she did shocked me. She lunged and grabbed my arm. Now, the human reaction is to push her off. Now I'm 5'11", and she was around 5'5" at the most, and she went flying into the PCs. There was a loud alarm that went off. One monitor fell on the floor and it smashed. Security came running to the scene. So did my friend. Now my friend is a little bit scared of confrontation, so he didn't do anything. I think he was more scared than me. She was screaming about how I assaulted her and that I pulled my phone out. She said I worked there. However, the manager shut her down instantly. It was very funny. I think the police got called in the mayhem. They then took both of our stories and started giving me dirty looks. They told me to call my parents, but I refused as I didn't want to drag them into it. But eventually, the footage came and it was proven that she grabbed me first and I pushed her off. Eventually, I had to give my name, but I was free to leave. The police did contact my parents. The good thing was the manager gave us a 20% discount, so that was good. And I like one of the questions that the comments pose. So, you're saying, if you weren't 14, and if you did work there, it would be okay to grab you? This is an interesting one, because, yeah, it's not really acceptable anywhere at any time to grab anyone, unless you're trying to pull them out of the way of a car or something. Okay, I'm thinking about this one way too seriously. Let's move on to the next one. This one by user/webmaker. Several years ago, I was helping my brother run his auto repair shop. Since he's a better tech than I am, and I'm a better paper pusher than he is, he was out in the shop working on a car, and I was running the office side of the operation. I recall that it was just the two of us. The other employees were out for the day because of it being a holiday weekend. So we were in skeleton crew/catch-up mode, handling some personal and low priority stuff. A customer came in for some AC issues, so bro checked it over and relayed to me what it needed. And I built an estimate for the customer. I don't recall the exact amount, but it was a pretty big, pretty expensive job. Despite our having amongst the most reasonable pricing in town. Gave the customer the estimate, and he left. Well, left the office anyway. He went into the shop, I watched him for a moment with a, what the hell is he doing? Before my attention was pulled to a ringing phone. A few minutes later, Bro came into the office. Once I was off the phone, Bro explained what happened. That customer had left the office and headed into the shop, and had come to him and asked him if he'd be interested in doing repair work on the side. He said to the customer, didn't he give you an estimate? Customer replied, yeah, but they're too damn expensive here. I can buy the parts if you want to do it. First off, in our state at the time, Florida, auto repair is a regulated industry that requires state licensing, so shade tree work is actually illegal statewide. With some specific exceptions, like fleet maintenance for your employer. You must be a state license to do any repairs for any form of compensation, including trades. Second, doing side work in the auto repair industry can get you fired from some shops, as by doing so, you're competing with your own employer, stealing a prospective customer, and etc. Third, asking the owner of the shop to do side work because you don't want to pay the shop to do the work is probably not going to end well. Bro said that the moment he told the customer, you two realize I'm the owner, right? The guy in the office is my brother. The colour drained from his face, and he couldn't get gone fast enough. Never saw that customer again, strangely enough. Yeah, this is a good one. Imagine that, coming up and asking the owner of a shop to do some work that is illegal and basically steal business from their own shop. I mean, if you guys looked young, then maybe I'd sort of get it. He's like, oh, these guys probably just want bit of cheap work on the side, bit of easy work on the side. And I'll try my best, but God, that backfired on him. Don't ask people to do things that are illegal. And here's the next one by user/sewing Samantha. So, I volunteer for a drive service locally. A few hours per week, I drive the elderly to the doctors and to the shops and such. My only responsibility is to bring them from A to B and back. But as it is often very frail, weak, or small people, I go into the shop with them to help them get stuff off the shelves and such, because I want to. It's a small community, a number of people know me in the area, this is fine. Well, I drive on Mondays only. This happened last Saturday when I went to the shops to do my own shopping. A lady I had not seen before, not the typical Karen look. She looked like a normal woman in her mid-50s. Visibly stared at me as I walked past her. I think nothing of this. People are weird sometimes. I go about my shopping. She follows me. I know this because I do a pretty unusual tour through the aisles since I know what I need and where. Near the register, we have walked past at least 3 uniformed shop employees by now. She just jams her cart in front of mine, blocking the way.
Excuse me, since you're obviously free, why haven't you offered to help me yet?
I stare for a good 15 seconds because I don't know what I could possibly help her with. The chief thinks I work there doesn't occur to me. I've never worked a day of retail in my life. I'm a journalist. Nothing even close to what she's after. With
my shopping.
If you need help, I suggest an employee.
But you are free.
I don't work here.
Obviously not.
This startled me. I didn't expect her to agree with me. Then why would I help you?
You work for the local service.
No, I'm self-employed. I volunteer there on Mondays.
Then help me already.
By now, other people have started peeking into our aisle, her shrill voice having alerted others. I could see one of the shopkeepers debate whether or not to step in. Sadly, no. It's not a Monday. If it was Monday, I still wouldn't help you because it's a members-only service. You're not a member, and if you were, I still wouldn't help you because my only responsibility is driving people around. I help sometimes because I want to, and I certainly don't want to help you.
Well, I don't care.
Okay then, neither do I. I give her cart a push and walk past with mine to the register and start unloading my stuff. The cashier is already giving her and me side-eye because she can see this isn't over.
If you don't work here, how are you going to pay for that? You are going to pay, right?
This startled both me and the shopkeeper. It's so dumb, I'm literally speechless for half a minute. Apparently, this shop is the only way to earn money now? I don't even know. No, I figured I was just going to rob the store, to be honest. It is Saturday after all.
You're so rude.
I pay for my stuff, she's still following me, having abandoned her car in the aisle. I stay near the counter to pack my groceries while she hovers around me. You understand I'm not going to help you at all, ever, right?
I'll get you fired.
I'm self-employed. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to fire me. I managed to make it out the door, put my cart back, and carry my stuff to the car. I almost think I ditched her when she appears again, next to me, yelling in my ear.
That's not your car!
I have a small CS, nothing fancy, but I own it outright. By now, honestly, I was just having a laugh at this bee. Then why do my keys unlock the door?
I've seen your car.
I mean, we're standing in front of it.
No, your real car, the Volkswagen.
It dawns on me what she means. The local service has 2 brand spanking new, giant 7-seater electric cars, completely covered with stickers, ads, and so on for the driver service. Cars are white, stickers are orange and green, very distinct. It's tacky AF, but the cars are great for people with limited movement because they're big. How anyone could think a car with all those ads belongs to a random person is beyond me, to be honest. That's not mine. This is. I just drive it sometimes.
That's illegal!
It's not? Have a great day. By the way, the store has probably put your stuff back by now. She ignores this completely as I get into the car, lowering the window so as to not tempt her to open the door or something.
How did you get this car?
Now, I'm a fairly small woman, just over 5 feet, very friendly face, and generally quite approachable. But I do have a loud voice when I try. I tried. I have things stolen, obviously. Murdered the owner as well. Keep yapping and I'll show you where they're buried. With that, I throw the car into gear, absolutely stomp the pedal to the ground, and race to the other end of the parking lot. I see her frantically scramble to what I assume to be her car, but by the time she's in it, I've pulled into traffic and pretty much out of sight. Just for fun, I parked a little down the road from the place, next to another identical CS. Same model, same colour, very similar license plates, just in case she comes looking. Sadly, she didn't. I didn't see her or her car again. I was actually a little nervous that I'd get in trouble with police or something for yelling that in case she reported me or something. But it seems she's not that crazy. And it looks like this Karen did the thing that Karens are best at. She just kept Karening on and on and on, digging herself a deeper and deeper hole while making absolutely no sense to the people around her. The classic Karen move. And OP, some of these replies were, beautiful. I really enjoyed reading this one. Just the self-employed and I don't think I'm going to fire me, and the threat to show Karen where the owner of the car is buried just Top tier Reddit writing. I highly approve, and I want more stories like this one. And guys, I think this post is going to be the last one for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel for Reddit videos. Now, new upload schedule once a week. But with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. That's it from me. I hope you all enjoyed, and all I want to do is see you all here next time. See you later, guys.